Alright, doing that thing again where I record at night. Feels amazing. Hey, but I saw Phantom Breaker Omnia release recently, and though I don't have my hands on the game, I have read and watched a few reviews, and I have a few things to say. You know, looking at the trailers, the game looks very dated. I mean, I don't think there's any denying that. This game kind of has like a 2010 PSP fighting game kind of style, and I'm never really the biggest critic on graphics, but at the same time, I think the animations do kind of look a bit incomplete. Maybe it's because my eyes have been spoiled by beautiful games like GG Strive and Soul Calibur 6. But yeah, I don't know, something about the visuals just feels very dated, you know, from the characters to the backgrounds, or should I say character sprites, not the actual character designs. I think the character designs are awesome, and I guess it's a nice segue into the topic of characters. I think the characters look amazing, right? You know, I'm all for the whole anime aesthetic, and if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the roster is from like visual novels that the development team have made in the past. I really do find the character designs to look very fun and unique. I'm sure in the story department, Phantom Breaker Omnia does a very good job considering its visual novel, I guess you could say, base. From what I've heard, you can choose between 3 different playstyles. I think they were quick, hard, and Omnia. I've heard that you apparently can't disable auto combos, so if you wanted to turn that off, that's just not an option here. And while certain playstyles allow for less auto combos, apparently you're still forced to deal with it regardless. Again, I've never actually played the game for myself. I'm just going off of the different reviews that I've seen and heard. Something else that I've heard about the controls is that there are no motion inputs, so it's all directional. I assume that makes it easier for just about anybody to pick up. I don't think it's a completely terrible thing, right? But one thing that is scary about this game's whole release is kind of when it released, right? Because CoF 15 just dropped, and we have P4AU getting its re-release, what is it, tomorrow I think? I'm recording this on March 15th, so tomorrow would be March 16th. And just the mere thought of competing with games like those, it feels a bit dangerous. Now, I personally don't know much about this series as a whole, but I did just a little bit of research, and when I look at the older games, I kind of see that Phantom Breaker Omnia doesn't look too far off from these older titles. In all honesty, to my eyes, this game kind of just looks like a reskin of an older entry, and I feel like that aspect alone may drive people away from this game, especially at a time like this. And I know something that drives a lot of people away from fighting games these days is the inclusion and exclusion of rollback netcode. As I've said before, I don't really care much about rollback. Of course, I do love it, but at the same time, it doesn't make or break a fighting game, in my personal opinion. But with a game like this and the games it's competing with, I do find this approach of theirs to be quite dangerous. Because something that I've seen over the years with fighting games is that the release can mean everything for a game. Street Fighter V, for example, had a terrible release, it left a lot of bad first impressions, and honestly, the game is in a better place now, but people still see it for what it was when it first came out. And I'm not making this video to say that this game looks terrible and that you shouldn't buy it. By all means, if this is something that you enjoy, especially if you're a fan of the Phantom Breaker series, you should always consider it. You know, it's all down to what you want. But at the same time, I did want to give a rather different perspective, especially from somebody who never played it, so I don't really know how much value my words have here, but I did want to share a few of my thoughts that I had upon watching and reading reviews and also watching the trailers over time. The game does have pretty mixed reviews now, but hopefully it'll be in a better place in the future. That is, of course, with the help of patches and updates that will help the game become something better than what it was upon release. Because I think that's what most fighting games aim for, right? I would hope so. But yeah, that's all I have for right now. So until next time, it's been Otaku Dreams, and that's all she wrote.